My husband was having an affair. He kept it a secret, afraid I'd find out. But he didn't know that Chloe, wanting to solidify her position, had come to sit across from me. It was then I realized that after decades of shared life together, he no longer loved me. If there was love, how could there be betrayal? Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and let us know in the comments where you're listening from. Marcus and I are together. We truly love each other, so please, just let us be together. Chloe was average looking but very young, barely in her early 20s, her face full of youthful vitality. She was nothing like me, a woman nearing 40. Chloe toyed with the diamond ring on her finger, the diamond reflecting blinding rays of light in the sun, making it hard for me to keep my eyes open. I stirred my coffee, maintaining a calm expression. Does know you're here to see me? She took a sip of coffee, looking at me smugly. Does he need to agree? If he loved you, I wouldn't be here. Oh, and he said being with you is like his left hand holding his right, he feels nothing. But with me, he says he feels every cell in his body singing. She put down her coffee, a malicious smile playing on her lips, and said breezily, he's not divorcing you because he still loves you. She paused deliberately, drawing out the last word. She probably expected me to become hysterical, but I calmly continued to stir my coffee. I wasn't some girl in my 20s, I was long past the age of impulse. Seemingly not getting the reaction she wanted, Chloe stopped procrastinating. You've been with him for decades. Even pets develop strong bonds, let alone people. He doesn't love you anymore. What's the point of clinging to someone who doesn't love you? I scoffed softly. It seems he doesn't know you came to see me. I casually dialed a phone number, put it on speaker, and placed it on the table. A familiar melody began to play. The most romantic thing I can think of is growing old with you, collecting every little laugh along the way, saving them for later, when we sit in our rocking chairs and sway gently. The moment the phone was answered, Marcus's familiar voice came through, as warm as ever. Honey, I'm not working late today. I'll pick you up on my way home. I looked calmly at Chloe across from me. Whether we divorce or not isn't just my decision. You should talk to him directly. Honey, what are you talking about? Divorce? Where are you? I'll come find you now. The voice on the phone carried clear urgency and panic. Marcus, I'm with Grace. Chloe's words made the voice on the other end of the phone cut off abruptly. Chloe left, and I finally let my stiff, upright posture relax. Thinking of Lily, I still dragged my stiff body home. As I pushed open the door, Lily rushed over, pointing mysteriously towards the kitchen. Mom, Dad's cooking? This is the first meal he's made since he became associate director. Is he going to announce something good? I weakly stroked Lily's head and collapsed onto the sofa. Mom? What's wrong? Are you tired? I nodded. I'll be fine after I sit for a bit. Your homeroom teacher said you have a practice test in a couple of days. You really need to put in some effort these next 2 days. You're in your senior year of high school now, so you can't slack off. Don't worry, Mom. Don't you trust my abilities? Marcus emerged from the kitchen carrying dishes, an undeniable guilt in his eyes as he saw me. Honey, you're home. Dinner will be ready in a minute. Get cleaned up and let's eat. His voice held a hint of appeasement. Ugh, that's so cheesy, Lily giggled, rushing into the kitchen. Dad, let me help you with the dishes. Dad, you're too much. You made all of Mom's favorite dishes today. Delicious food filled the dining table. Lily looked at Marcus, feigning a dramatic pose. Oh, Dad, I'm feeling provoked. Everyone says a daughter is her daddy's little girl, but I'm realizing that this daddy's little girl of yours will never replace Mom's spot. Usually, Lily's teasing would make our home even warmer, but today she mentioned his mistress. Even though I was past the age of impulse, my heart still twisted painfully. I desperately wanted to lash out, but seeing Lily's smiling face, I held it in. Marcus's expression also changed, finally softening into one of indulgence. That's right. Your dad and I grew up together. No one can ever come between your mom and me. Listening to him, I felt a heavy tightness in my chest. Was he implying that even if he had his mistress outside, I was still the main one? Suddenly, I found it laughable. Mom, come eat quickly. All your favorite dishes are here. I'm just benefiting from you. I walked to the dining table and sat down as usual. The table was laden with all my favorite foods, but I had no appetite. Your favorite sweet and sour pork ribs. His chopsticks placed a piece in my bowl. Dad, I want some too. You're old enough, get it yourself. Dad, you're clearly playing favorites. Can't you share some of that love? I'm your daddy's little girl too, after all. His hand paused midair as he picked up meat, then resignedly served Lily some. Stop talking nonsense all the time. You're grown up now. Lily pouted defiantly. No matter how big I get, I'll always be your daddy's little girl. Humph. With that, she pouted at me. Mom, look at Dad. He doesn't want me as his daddy's little girl anymore. Who knows, maybe some other his mistress has captured his heart. Smack. Marcus's chopsticks clattered onto the table. Lily, you're 17 years old. Can you stop talking without thinking? Lily froze in shock, her eyes suddenly welling up. In all her years, this was the first time she had been yelled at like that. I calmly glanced at Marcus, and he happened to look back at me. His eyes were filled with panic. I gently soothed her. Lily, your dad's been having some trouble at work lately, and he's not in a good mood. He didn't mean to yell at you. A flicker of surprise crossed Marcus's eyes, then he let out a breath of relief and immediately said, Lily, Dad was wrong. I shouldn't bring work stress home. Dad apologizes, I'm sorry. Lily, her eyes red, looked tearfully at Marcus. Just this once. If you yell at me again, I won't be your daddy's little girl anymore. The atmosphere in the dining room was somewhat stifling. The table was full of delicious food, but everything tasted bitter to me. Lily quickly ate a few bites. Mom, Dad, I'm finished. I'm going to read. Only and I were left at the table. He opened his mouth, but in the end, said nothing. In the bedroom, on the king-sized bed, we slept distinctly apart, on opposite sides. He moved closer, but my icy gaze made him move back to his side. If I could, I wanted to be even farther away from him. I remembered the small twin bed in our old small rental apartment, even that felt too wide then. But now, on this king-sized bed, I felt it was too narrow. Honey, I'm sorry, his deep voice rumbled. I waited for more, but he said nothing further. He only said he was sorry, but didn't say he would break it off with her. How utterly meaningless. But I'm sorry was the most meaningless thing he could say to me. I turned on my side, tears soaking my pillow. Marcus and I had known each other since childhood, enduring nearly 40 years of ups and downs together. Chloe was right. After decades, even pets develop strong bonds, let alone people. If I'd mourn the loss of pets, how much more so for the man who had been with me for half my life. We had been through so much. We were both orphans, growing up together in the local orphanage. At 5, playing house, he thumped his chest and declared, Grace, I'll marry you when I grow up. At 6, fighting with others, he'd yell, Grace, run. I'll hold them off. At 7, going to school, he'd say, Grace, I'm going to be a scientist someday, and you'll be a scientist's wife. At 15, when I had my first period, he blushed as he handed me a sanitary pad. At 18, he put a simple silver band on my finger, swearing to the heavens, Grace, I promise I'll give you a good life. We married at 22. No wedding reception, no ceremony, just his sincere heart. Grace, I love you. I'll always love you, he shouted into the wilderness. Marcus loves Grace, forever and always. Honey, I got my paycheck. It's up by $500 this time. Now we can buy Lily better formula. Honey, didn't you say you'd never had shrimp? I bought some today. Lucky day, the boss gave me a special price. Honey, just one more year of saving, and we'll have enough for the down payment. This is great, we're finally going to have our own home. Honey, I got promoted. I'm the chief designer now. You don't have to be so frugal anymore. Buy whatever you want, your husband can provide for you now. Honey, I'm the associate director now. You're the associate director's wife. But just 3 years into being associate director, he might be replacing his wife. The next day, as usual, I got up and made breakfast for Lily. Before she left, I reminded her again, ride your bicycle slowly on the road, and be careful. Lily, as usual, chirped, yes, madam. Then she rushed out with her backpack, and Lily's cheerful voice echoed from the hallway. Mom, I'm leaving. I'm going to be late. I didn't bring up divorce, which probably made him think our marriage could still continue. He became increasingly busy, not eating dinner at home for a whole month, and even staying out overnight for several days. Lily couldn't help but complain, why is Dad suddenly so busy? My heart fluttered with panic. Had found something out? If she had, what would I do? She leaned close to me. Mom, you really need to convince Dad to rest. I saw a video yesterday about a young person who died suddenly from overworking. It felt really scary. My heart settled. It was good she hadn't found out. It was past midnight when Marcus returned. He carried an unfamiliar scent. Seeing that I was still awake, he seemed surprised. Why aren't you resting yet? We hadn't spoken in a long time, even when he tried to initiate conversation. As if knowing he wouldn't get a reply from me, he sighed deeply. The other side of the bed dipped. The bedside lamp clicked off. I took a deep breath. From now on, come home for dinner 2 nights a week. Try not to stay out overnight. He was silent for a long time, seemingly weighing who was more important, me or Chloe. The silence stretched on. Just as I thought I wouldn't get the answer I wanted, I heard him say, "Understood." I let out a breath. This way, Lily wouldn't worry anymore, right? The room fell silent once more. I had told him to come home for dinner 2 nights a week and try not to stay out overnight. He did it, and even better. He came home for dinner 3 or 4 days a week and never stayed out overnight again. Even when he traveled for work, he would send me a text message. Life seemed to return to how it was before his affair. Lily was much relieved by this, and she secretly confided in me. "Mom, I'm so impressed with you. I've told my dad countless times to rest, but he never listens. Look how obedient Dad is when you step in. Mom, when I grow up, I want to find a husband just like Dad, who only dotes on me and listens to what I say." Marcus came home more and more often, he even spent Saturdays and Sundays at home. It was then that I accepted a friend request from a stranger. The moment I accepted, several pictures were sent. One showed 2 hands clasped tightly together. Another showed Chloe coyly nestled against the man's chest. And a third was of 2 naked bodies intertwined, the man's broad back completely shielding Chloe. My heart twisted with a sharp pain. The simple silver band on my hand, and the sparkling diamond ring, made my eyes ache. The mole on his chest overlapped with the one in my memory. And the scratch marks near his shoulder blades on his back, those were from that night, when I had accidentally broken the skin in the heat of passion. My stomach churned, and I rushed to the bathroom, retching uncontrollably. Marcus, who had been reading on the sofa, immediately followed me into the bathroom. "Honey, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? I'll take you to the hospital." He gently patted my back, making my stomach churn even more violently, and tears streamed from my eyes. I pushed him away. "Get out. Don't touch me with your filthy hands." It was the first time I had ever spoken so harshly to him. His raised hand froze in midair. When returned from tutoring, I had already made dinner. "Mom, where's Dad? Didn't he say he'd be home today since he had nothing scheduled? Work called him in for something urgent. Go wash your hands and eat." Ugh, the design firm is really something. They make him work overtime even on weekends. Dad's an associate director, so why is he still so busy? No, I'm calling him. He promised we'd eat dinner together. With that, Lily took out her phone and dialed. A childish ringtone played. "I have a good daddy, daddy, daddy." "Hello, who is this?" Chloe's voice came through the phone. My body stiffened, and I quickly snatched the phone from Lily's hand. "Hello, Mr. David? Is Leong in a meeting? Could you please tell him to call my daughter back after he's done?" There was a moment of silence on the phone. Then's voice, half smiling, half mocking, came through. "All right, I understand. I'll inform Associate Leong." The moment the phone hung up, I saw Lily's pale face regain its color. "I told you, your dad's busy. Let's eat. He'll call you after his meeting." A wave of despair washed over me. The sound of a text message incoming chimed. "You really have a lot of patience. Marcus is in the shower. I'll tell him to call his daughter back when he's done." Oh, he originally said he wasn't coming over these 2 days, that he wanted to end quality time with his child. But he probably missed me too much and couldn't help but come. So don't overthink it. He goes back, but not for you, it's for his daughter. He said the child still has more than half a year until the college entrance exam, and everything else can wait until after that. You should cherish this last bit of time. Mom, what's wrong? Why are you so pale? I quickly locked my phone. Lily walked over and touched my forehead. You're not hot." I forced a smile. What could be wrong with Mom? "Come on, eat quickly before the food gets cold." I put some sticky glazed chicken wings in her bowl. "Your favorite sticky glazed chicken wings." "Thanks, Mom, I love you to death." Marcus's phone call came 10 minutes later. "Lily, were you looking for Dad?" "Dad, you wouldn't believe it, a Chloe answered your phone just now. It scared me to death. I thought you were secretly seeing his mistress behind Mom's back." Lily, her mouth full of sticky glazed chicken wings, spoke somewhat indistinctly. "What are you talking nonsense about? Don't talk about your father like that." "I was just kidding. Are you coming back for dinner tonight? Mom made our favorite sticky glazed chicken wings. If you come back, I'll save you too." "Yes, Dad will be home soon." Half an hour later, Marcus rushed back, looking travel-worn. I saw the lipstick stain on his collar and frantically stood in front of him, blocking Lily's view. "Tired? Go change your clothes first." Perhaps because it had been a long time since he'd heard such caring words from me, a long absent trace of emotion appeared on his face. "MHM." Lily's teasing voice chimed from behind me. "Mom," Dad's eyes were all gooey. "I'm so jealous." He smiled gently. "Nothing to be jealous of. When you grow up, Dad will pick a good husband for you." "Absolutely. When I grow up, I'll definitely find someone just like you. And then we'll be happy forever, just like you and Mom." Lily's eyes were full of longing. But my heart was constantly aching. "You're wrong, Lily. Mom won't let you find a man like your dad. Your dad's and my outcome is already sealed. The only reason I've kept up this facade is to prevent a major emotional upheaval that might affect your studies." He went back to the bedroom, a hint of distress in his retreating figure. I followed him in. He looked at the shirt on the bed, then tossed it straight onto the floor. Seeing the lipstick stain on his collar, he paused for a moment, then bent down to pick it up, his eyes full of apology. "I'm sorry. It won't happen again." The room fell silent again. After a long while, he spoke once more. "Honey, thank you for today." I looked at him indifferently. Was he thanking me for covering for him when Lily called? Or thanking me for preventing Lily from seeing the lipstick stain on his collar and covering for him in front of our daughter? It seemed his skin wasn't quite so thick, he still had some sense of shame. "You know I wasn't doing it for you, so you don't need to thank me. I hope you can be a responsible father until Lily's college entrance exam." He nodded. "Don't worry, nothing like this will happen again." I knew he would agree. Even if he no longer loved me, he still cared about Lily. "When isn't around, you don't have to force yourself to call me honey. It disgusts me." He stiffened for a moment, then lowered his head and said, "Okay." I had always known him to be a man of his word. Except for that promise to love me forever. After that day, he came home every day. When I worked late, he would cook dinner and wait for me, just like he used to years ago. Lily was visibly happy. Knowing he would be home every day, I busied myself. Pictures kept coming from the stranger. From the initial heartache, my heart was now calm. I knew I had broken free from those 40 years of feelings, though it brought heartache and left me bruised and battered. Looking at the pictures of the two of them kissing, I no longer felt any emotional stir. I just thought Chloe was crazy, daring to send such private photos. Still too young. I thought things would continue this way until Lily's college entrance exam was over, but 3 days before the exam, I received a phone call from Marcus. "The most romantic thing I can think of is growing old with you, collecting every little laugh along the way, saving them for later, when we sit in our rocking chairs and sway gently." The familiar voice made me feel disoriented for a moment. We hadn't called each other in about half a year, we were just the most familiar strangers trapped under the same roof. I pressed the answer button. Marcus's voice carried clear panic. "Grace, Lily isn't answering her phone. Quick, contact her, ask her where she is." The exam was in 3 days, and today Lily had planned to relax with her friends. She was a sensible child, even when out, she never ignored our calls without reason. I asked urgently, "What happened?" "Don't ask yet. Paul first. Hurry." My heart immediately sank. I frantically hung up the phone and immediately called Lily. "The number you have dialed is currently switched off." The robotic female voice reached my ears, making it sound somewhat unreal. I opened my text message app and tried to video call, but no one answered. Panic seized me, and I called the parents of Lily's closest friends. But they all said they hadn't seen Lily. I realized something serious must have happened. Trembling, I dialed Marcus's phone number. "The most romantic thing I can think of." The phone was quickly answered, and his voice was filled with anxiety. "Well? Have you reached Lily?" "No, Marcus, I can't reach Lily." "What on earth happened?" "She hasn't gotten into trouble, has she? Should we call the police?" "No, Lily won't be in trouble. Don't scare yourself." "Marcus, I'm scared. If anything happens to Lily, I won't be able to live." My emotions were spiraling. "Don't be scared, I'm here." His voice trembled. "I'll pick you up from your office, and we'll go look for her together." When arrived, I was still frantically dialing Lily's phone number. The moment I saw him, I finally couldn't hold back my tears. Even though I knew he was cheating, I had only grieved in silence, never losing control like this in front of him. "Marcus, Lily still isn't answering her phone. Has something happened to her?" His eyes filled with pain and remorse, and he held me tightly in his arms. "Grace, don't be scared. I'm here. We'll find her together." Marcus and I searched everywhere Lily loved to go. We even went to the police station, but the officers apologetically told me, "We can't file a missing person report until 24 hours have passed." The sky grew darker, and my anxiety intensified. I asked Marcus repeatedly, Lily won't be in trouble, will she? He told me over and over, Lily will be fine. At 3 in the morning, I roamed the streets like a phantom, hoping Lily would appear before me at any moment. My sweet mommy, home from work. The moment the phone rang, it was like hearing heavenly music. With trembling hands, I pressed answer. Mom, why aren't you home so late? I just realized my phone died. I saw you left me so many messages. You must have been terrified, right? I'm so sorry, it's all my fault. It won't happen again. Lily's voice was soft and sweet, raspy from sleep, and my heart melted. I didn't ask when she came home. I had just checked an hour ago. I just gently replied to her. Your phone dying isn't your fault. You don't need to say you're sorry. Mom was silly, overreacting. I'm at the office right now, but I'll be right home. If you're tired, go back to sleep. When I got home, I tiptoed to Lily's bedroom and saw her familiar silhouette on the bed. My heart finally eased. I quietly tiptoed back out, completely missing Lily's trembling shoulders. Under my relentless questioning, Marcus told me what had happened. Lily had caught him and Chloe together. I closed my eyes in despair. If she had just seen them walking together, Lily wouldn't have been so upset. She must have witnessed something she couldn't accept. For the first time, I looked at Marcus with hatred. If anything happens to Lily that delays her college entrance exam because of this, I swear I won't let you or that Chloe get away with it. He closed his eyes in pain. Grace, I'm sorry. I slapped him across the face. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If apologies actually meant something, I could say it a million times. On the day of Lily's college entrance exam, Marcus took the day off. I specifically wore a stunning red gown. We took Lily to the testing center together. Lily smiled at me. Mom, you look so beautiful today. How did I get such a pretty, amazing mom? I smiled, my eyes crinkling. Mom bought this stunning red gown especially for you. If you think it's good, Mom's happy. Good girl, may you triumph in your exam. Don't worry, Mom, I'll definitely get a good score. It's too hot, you should go back. Lily, you can do it. Marcus also cheered on Lily, but seemed not to hear him. Mom, I'm going in now. Lily turned and walked away. I saw the flash of loneliness and pain in Marcus's eyes. Lily pretended not to notice, and so did I. I didn't want her to experience any major emotional upheaval before the college entrance exam. Marcus tried to speak several times but held back. I simply pretended not to see him. Watching his retreating figure as she entered the testing center, my heart was filled with anxiety. This was Lily's journey to change her destiny, and I wanted to witness it firsthand. That stunning red gown looks really good on you, Marcus sincerely complimented. I just offered a faint smile. I'm older now. It probably would have looked better if I wore it when I was younger. Too bad I didn't have money when I was young. Even if I did, I wouldn't have dared to spend nearly 1,000 yuan on this stunning red gown. My words seemed to remind Marcus of the hard times we endured, and his gaze at me was filled with undeniable regret. Let's wait in the car. I didn't object. The slit on my stunning red gown today was a bit high, and with so many people looking at me, I felt a little self-conscious. The car's air conditioning blew away the heat from my body. The car radio played. The most romantic thing I can think of is growing old with you, until we're too old to go anywhere, and you still hold me like your precious treasure. Perhaps this old song stirred memories of his youth. I remember when we were at the local orphanage, I was always hungry, so hungry I couldn't sleep at night. Whenever that happened, you'd secretly find me and pull a bread roll from your pocket. My vision blurred for a moment, and I seemed to see my younger self. Scrawny, dressed in drab clothes, breaking the bread roll in my hand in half, stuffing the larger portion into the boy's hand. Marcus, eat this. Mother said all hardships are paper tigers, and one day, we'll defeat them. Then two small bodies, brazenly huddled together, secretly eating. Fond memories always soften the heart. I remember you were still starving when we were in college. Marcus smiled, just like he did in his youth. Yeah, back then, my stomach would growl, and you'd hear it and say the rumbling sounded just like a symphony. I remember, I replied faintly. The money he saved by going without food eventually all went to buying me new clothes. He said he would give me a good life, and he genuinely tried his best to make that happen. Now life was comfortable, but the man who said he'd always love me was lost. Perhaps sensing the heavy turn of the conversation, Marcus changed the subject. I remember back in college, a rich kid was pursuing you, but you turned him down. I asked you then if you'd regret it, since he was so accomplished and wealthy, and you said no. I thought of that handsome young man, then looked at Marcus's familiar yet strange face, a wry smile tugging at my lee. P.S. Yes, I was too young then. So young that I thought love was all that mattered. The car suddenly fell silent, the car radio still playing the romantic. Do you regret it? His voice was low, filled with unspoken repression. I looked out the window. A young woman was shaking off a man's hand. You keep asking why I won't marry you? Fine, I'll tell you clearly. You can't even afford the $88,000 for their new life together, so you want me to marry you and help pay off your debts? Well, I'm still better than that guy. He's just got a little more money than me. What else does he have that I don't? Even if he's not better than you in any way, he can give me a comfortable, worry-free life where I don't have to constantly fret about making ends meet. Those 3 years with you? I'll just consider them a waste. Watching the two of them argue and walk away, I let out a long breath. Yes, I regret it. He fell silent. Listening to the familiar melody in the car, I spoke again. Last year, I watched a show where a girl declared she'd rather cry in a BMW than laugh on a bicycle. At the time, I didn't understand, and even felt a little sorry for her. I thought her view on love was flawed. But reality has shown me that love seems to be the most worthless thing. But if you think about it from another perspective, who says you'll always cry in a BMW, and who says you'll always laugh on a bicycle? I'm a living example, aren't I? If you can live comfortably, why insist on making yourself suffer so much? Only to end up becoming a faded old wife, and then letting another Chloe spend your money and sleep with your man. Tell me, isn't a woman like that foolish? This was the first time I had spoken so much to him since his affair. He lowered his head, his hands tightly clasped. Marcus, after Lily's college entrance exam, let's go to City Hall and get divorced. You'll be free. I had intended to wait until Lily's exams were completely over, but with the way he conversation was going, I had to say it a day or two early. He should know that I had endured for so long, not because I couldn't let go of him, but because I chose to for Lily's sake. Marcus looked up at me, his voice trembling. Grace, I said I regret it. Can we still go back? I shook my head faintly. The who said he'd love me for a lifetime is already dead in my heart. His eyes reddened, and he fought back tears. Grace, we've known each other for 39 years, 6 months, and 13 days. You and Lily are the dearest people in my life. I'm a bastard, I'm sorry. Lily's mood had been very stable these past 2 days. After finishing her last exam, I saw her rush out of the testing center. She ran towards me. Mom, I'm done with my exams. Come, have an ice cream to cool down first. Then we'll go home, and Mom will make you a big meal. I have the best mom in the world, I'm going to be so happy. Lily took the ice cream. Mom, you take a bite first. I took a bite as she asked. It's so sweet. Mom, let's go home. You've worked so hard these past 2 days. I told you I could get back by myself, but you insisted on waiting here. Today, I'll cook dinner to treat my amazing mom. Lily excitedly chatted, holding on to my arm. Okay, Mom can't wait to taste your cooking. It turned out Lily had only made instant noodles, with a messy, broken fried egg in them. When returned, Lily and I were happily eating. Why are you eating something so simple? Don't eat that, I'll cook. Are you saying my cooking isn't good? Lily's face clearly fell. Lily made it, he said, looking at me. I nodded. He put down his bag and sat at the dining table. Lily, with an unfriendly expression, served him a bowl. Perhaps because he ate a lot and quickly, that bowl of mushy noodles was soon empty. Is there more? He looked up, his gaze intense on Lily. No. Lily retorted, annoyed. Gone were the laughter and intimacy she used to share with him. Perhaps attitude saddened him. His eyes reddened, and a smile played on his lips. My has grown up. This is the first meal I've ever eaten that my daughter made. It's delicious. Perhaps seeing her dad's red eyes, Lily's own eyes welled up, and her tone softened. If you like it, I'll make you another packet. Lily went to the kitchen, and I heard her sobbing. I calmly looked at him. Tomorrow, we'll go to City Hall and finalize our divorce. I heard the sound of chopsticks falling to the floor. I knew Lily had heard. I'm sorry, Lily, but I've reached my limit. Let me be selfish for once. A moment later, Lily, her eyes red, came out with another bowl of noodles and placed it heavily on the table. Then she returned to her room without looking back. That night, I knocked on Lily's bedroom door. Lily's eyes were swollen like walnuts. Mom, are you really going to divorce him? She didn't even want to call him dad anymore. I looked at her tear-reddened eyes, a pang of heartache tightening in my chest. Lily, even if your father and I divorce, our love for you won't diminish one bit. She hugged me tightly. The young woman was already half a head taller than me, and her embrace felt incredibly warm. Mom, no matter what you decide, I'll support you. I smiled at her, and tears welled up in my eyes. My daughter had truly grown up. My daughter and I talked for a long time, and finally, she hugged me again. Mom, how could you be so foolish, enduring them for so long because of me? You and he spent decades of shared life together, standing by him through thick and thin, enduring so much hardship. How could he treat you like this? I always thought that day, when I caught them hugging, was his first time cheating. I never imagined. Mom, you've been wronged. Get the divorce. You absolutely have to. From now on, it'll just be the two of us. We'll treat him like a stranger. Lily released me, then pulled me towards the bedroom. Marcus lay on the bed, tossing and turning. Grace had already passed due. Meant on him. Was disappointed in him too? He covered his face, his heart filled with despair. At some point, tears streamed down his face. He regretted it, regretted his past actions, but regret couldn't salvage his family. They had spent 40 years together. How could he not understand Grace's temper? She was strong, brave, and wouldn't tolerate any injustice. How could he have lost his mind back then? The bedroom door was knocked. Come out, we need to talk to you about something. Lily's voice was cold. Ever since she caught him and Chloe that day, Lily hadn't sweetly called him dad once. Marcus composed himself and went to the living room. You're getting divorced, and I'm staying with my mom. Since you cheated during the marriage, you must leave with nothing. My mom supported you from nothing, without a single complaint, yet you betrayed your relationship. I always looked up to you as an example for a partner, and you've deeply hurt our feelings. From now on, you will give half of your monthly salary and bonuses to my mom and me. Consider it compensation for your betrayal. Watching advocate so forcefully for herself, not even looking Marcus in the eye, I felt no joy, only heartache. She must have been hurting too. There are no winners in the war of divorce. Marcus felt immense pain in his heart. Watching fight for her mother's interests, he also felt a surge of comfort. His daughter had grown up, so strong and capable, she certainly wouldn't be fooled by other boys. He nodded. All right, I'll agree to everything. Both and I were stunned. We hadn't expected Marcus to agree to such unreasonable demands. Lily seemed afraid he would back out. Words mean nothing, let's get it in writing. A draft agreement was quickly prepared. After both parties signed, can I rest here for one more night tonight? Marcus's voice was pleading. I neither refused nor agreed. Lily, her eyes red, said, the agreement is just signed, the divorce isn't final until tomorrow. You can stay one more night. The next day, Lily, with her eyes red and swollen, applied beautiful makeup for me. Mom, you look wonderful. This is a celebration of your new beginning. On the way to City Hall, Marcus was unusually silent. After he had agreed to Lily's demands so readily last night, I suddenly realized I didn't hate him quite so much anymore. You've given all your money to Lily and me. What about Chloe? Will she cause trouble? He intently watched the road, answering only after a long pause. I'm much better off now than when you first met me. Back then, I only made 1,000 a month. She should be content. I understood then. True love? He meant that Chloe was the kind of girl who would happily ride on the back of a bicycle. I admit, I was a bit spiteful. I didn't believe Chloe and Marcus shared true love. Marcus officially exited mine and Lily's lives. Of course, he continued to send money regularly each month. Because had discovered Marcus and Chloe together earlier than planned, even though she tried hard to control herself and remain calm, her grades were still somewhat affected. Nevertheless, she still got into a good university in the city. She said this way she could come home often to see me, so I wouldn't be lonely. On's move-in day, Marcus came to see her off and even gave her a generous check. Lily asked him, smiling, didn't bring your girlfriend? She seemed to have come to terms with everything. He just smiled awkwardly without speaking. I shot Lily a glare, signaling her to be respectful. After all, that was still her dad. Lily proudly lifted her head, then texted me a contact. Mom, this is my classmate's dad. He's been single for over 10 years, an eligible bachelor. I've checked him out, he's handsome, no worse than a certain someone. I was mortified. That little rascal. At the university, I saw a boy waving to Lily. My brows furrowed into a knot. Had she started dating as soon as she got into college? Mom, hurry up, I see my classmate. Lily pulled me along, running towards him, while Marcus resignedly pulled the luggage behind us. As I was being pulled, I couldn't help but advise, Lily, you're still young. Mom isn't against dating, but girls must protect themselves. Never let boys take advantage of you casually. Mom, what are you thinking? Lily stopped. I'm saying hello to the man standing next to the boy. "Hello, uncle. This is my mom." With that, she pushed me in front of the man. I was so embarrassed I felt like my toes could curl a 3-bedroom apartment out of the floor. "Hello, my name is Ethan," the man said, extending his hand. I quickly shook it. His hand was warm, almost scorching my skin. "Hello, Grace. Hello, Auntie. My name is Leo, Ethan is my dad. Lily and I were high school classmates, and now we're attending the same university." A handsome young man, radiating warmth and sunshine. He gave off a good impression. If we're to date him, it might actually be a good thing. Marcus caught up, out of breath. "Let's get Lily checked in first." Before we parted, Ethan and I exchanged contact information, agreeing to get together with the kids sometime. Since seemed interested in the boy, I felt I should check out his family. On the way back, I dropped Marcus off at his small rental apartment complex. I ran into Chloe, who was coming out to take out the trash. Seeing get out of my car, Chloe's eyes filled with resentment. "You're already divorced from her, so why are you tangled up with her again? Are you regretting it? Regretting being with me?" As spoke, her eyes welled up. Marcus frowned. "What are you talking about? What am I talking about?" Chloe's voice grew shrill. "You've been divorced for so long, yet you refuse to get married to me, refuse to have a wedding reception. Are you still thinking about your ex-wife? Do I mean nothing to you? I gave you my first time. You scoundrel, you heartless man." Noticing the bystanders pointing and whispering, Marcus felt RLY humiliated. "Can you please stop talking so carelessly and just come inside with me?" As he entered the building entrance, Marcus glanced back at me, and I tactfully sped away. It didn't feel right to watch my ex-husband make a fool of himself. On my birthday, I booked a local restaurant and invited Ethan and his wife for dinner. This was an excuse I'd painstakingly found, hoping Ethan's family would be easy to get along with. I felt somewhat anxious waiting. Many families these days, when their sons marry, don't consider partners from divorced families. Would family be the same? When the private dining room door opened, Ethan walked in alone, carrying a cake. I craned my neck, looking out. "Miss Grace, are there other guests?" I was momentarily stunned. "No, I only invited you and your wife." He smiled. "Then there's no need to look." I was bewildered. What did he mean? My wife passed away 10 years ago. Ethan's explanation cleared my confusion, and I immediately felt embarrassed. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I apologize for bringing up a painful memory." "It's nothing. Those first few years were indeed hard, but I don't feel so bad about it anymore. Happy birthday." I brought a mango cake. "I wasn't sure if you'd like it." I was surprised. Mango was my favorite. "I love it, thank you." Ethan was a very conversational man, and he made me feel quite comfortable. Until I left the restaurant, I completely forgot to ask his opinion on divorced families. Before getting into the car, I couldn't help but ask him, "What's your view on divorced families?" He paused, then smiled. "What do you mean, view? Everyone has the right to pursue happiness. Divorce isn't a big deal. If a relationship could continue, I don't think anyone would choose to divorce." My heart finally settled. It seemed Lily's future father-in-law was quite reasonable. 2 heads were huddled in the shadows outside the restaurant. "Do you think my dad has a chance?" the boy asked. "Based on my mom's attitude, I think so," the girl replied. "Then I'll call my dad later and tell him to speed things up," the boy said with a satisfied smile. "Thinking that I'll have a sister like you makes life seem more promising." "Please, your promise is just having me as a sister, huh? How about I call you brother right now? Does that make your heart flutter?" The boy scratched his head, chuckling. "That's different. I've always wanted to ask, why are you trying to set your mom up with my dad? Isn't your dad?" "Hold it right there. Even though he's my dad, he cheated. He wronged my mom. If he can flirt and be affectionate with Chloe, then my mom deserves someone better." From then on, Ethan and I met frequently, mostly because the kids invited us to group dinners. We became quite familiar with each other. On's birthday, he invited me to celebrate, and I bought him a birthday cake in return. It's good to reciprocate. This time, we didn't eat out, but at Ethan's house. We were both in good spirits and had a little wine. Then, perhaps it was Dutch courage, or perhaps it had been 2 or 3 years since I'd been with a man. Anyway, somehow, we ended up together. The moment I sobered up, I was so ashamed I wanted to hide in a hole in the ground. This was my potential future in-law. I slipped away before Ethan woke up. When the kids next encouraged us to have dinner, I couldn't quite meet Ethan's eyes. That dinner, I drank a bit too much again, and the kids had Ethan take me home. The moment we arrived at my apartment complex, he asked if I wanted to invite him up. My face flushed, and I rushed upstairs. I nearly tripped, but Ethan, worried about me, ended up seeing me to my apartment. This time, I was fully sober throughout. He said he wanted to marry me, but I didn't agree. I didn't want the shackles of marriage to bind me again. Moreover, he was very likely to become my future in-law. Downstairs, two small heads, the girl, your dad went up. The boy, it's been an hour. The girl, alright, let's get back to campus, or the dorm supervisor will get mad. Ethan grew bolder, even getting closer to me in front of the kids. I felt a terrible mix of panic and guilt. How to describe that feeling? It was secretive, very thrilling. I understood what Chloe meant by feeling every cell leap with joy. This thrilling period was interrupted in the kids' junior year of college. Lily, uncle, it's been 2 years. Aren't you going to give my mom proper status? Leo, Dad, you're not being a man. Ethan looked at me reproachfully, his eyes asking, what do you want me to do? I sheepishly pulled Lily away. That evening, Lily and I had a heart-to-heart talk. Mom, why won't you say yes to Uncle? My face burned red. You and Leo. How can Mom possibly? Lily's eyes widened. Mom, are you misunderstanding something? Leo and I both want you two to be together. A mother marrying the father, a daughter marrying the son, I still found it hard to accept. Don't worry about Mom's business. Just you and Leo being happy is enough. Lily suddenly burst out laughing, stopping only after a long while. Mom, you don't think Leo and I are dating, do you? I was full of questions. Aren't you? Mom, of course not. We're just good friends, not boyfriend and girlfriend like you're thinking. We're always together because we wanted to create opportunities for you and Uncle. She pulled me to sit down. Mom, that contact I texted you about was Uncle's. Leo and I have been trying to set you two up all this time. Ethan and I discussed not getting married but living together. Ethan reluctantly agreed. Finally, we decided we should at least invite close friends to dinner. When I saw Marcus in the private dining room, I was quite shocked. In just 3 years, he seemed to have aged 10. Having my ex-husband at such an occasion was incredibly awkward. I shot Lily a glare, and she whispered to me, Mom, I just want him to see that you're doing just as well without him. Ethan knew Marcus and had met him once at the university. He greeted him with a smile, you're here, come have a seat. I don't know if Marcus was awkward, but I certainly was. Ethan and Marcus chatted and laughed, toasting each other. As they drank, somehow, the conversation turned to me. Brother, thank you. If it weren't for you, I felt Ethan's smile was a bit sly. If you hadn't failed to appreciate her, I wouldn't have met Grace. You don't know how wonderful Grace truly is. Anyway, thank you. I'll drink to that, you do as you please, brother. That night, Ethan got very drunk, and Marcus was also intoxicated. Otherwise, he wouldn't have kept mumbling, wife, I'm sorry, I really regret it. Lily, left with no choice, fulfilled her filial duty and took him home. I finally managed to get Ethan into bed. His drunken eyes held a smile. Grace, I got revenge for you too. Heh, did you see how upset your ex-husband looked? I was taken aback. I had thought they were getting along quite well. That night, Lily called me and dropped a bombshell. Mom, my dad is being cheated on. Her voice was filled with ill-concealed excitement. Shocked, I pushed away Ethan's wandering hand, sat up, and asked with concern, Lily, are you alright? Although supported Ethan and me, what if she was just putting on a brave face? Mom, I'm perfectly fine. I feel a huge weight lift from my chest, she babbled on, and only then did I learn the whole story. When was helping Marcus back home, she stumbled upon Chloe and another man doing something inappropriate. Ridiculously, Marcus was so desperately in love with Chloe that he tolerated being cheated on. He simply chased the other man out. How to put it? I just felt my worldview was shaken to its core. Hanging up the phone with Lily, I fell into deep thought. Regardless, Marcus and I had known each other for 40 years, we were childhood friends. Aside from cheating, he didn't seem to have done anything to wrong me. I hated him for the infidelity, but he left with nothing and compensated me sufficiently, making it hard for me to hold on to that hatred. Knowing him for 40 years, I understood him. I personally believed he would never quietly accept being cheated on. But he did tolerate it. It seemed I still didn't quite understand him after all these years. What are you thinking about, so lost in thought? Ethan asked, pulling my hand. I casually replied, Marcus. Ethan grew anxious. It seems I'm not working hard enough if you still have time to be preoccupied. He leaned over, and I hurriedly pushed him away. Stop it, we're not young anymore. Once is enough, again, and you'll be worn out. Are you saying I'm old? Then I'll have to show you my strength. Why did this man get more determined the more I tried to stop him? I closed my mouth. He certainly proved his point. In the middle of the night, I was woken by a phone call. Who is it? Interrupting my sleep in the middle of the night, Ethan mumbled with his eyes closed. I saw the familiar number on the phone, hesitating for a moment. It's Marcus. I'll take it. The moment the call connected, Marcus's voice traveled through the phone to my ear. Grace, I miss you so much. How was I supposed to respond? I saw Ethan's intense gaze on me. Are you still drunk? If not, I'll hang up. Grace, don't hang up. I want to talk to you. I listened then. He rambled on about many things from our youth, but I didn't give any reaction. Grace, I truly regret it. She threatened me that if I didn't stay with her, she'd report me. She doesn't love me at all, she's only with me for the money. She's always finding excuses to ask me for money, and if I don't satisfy her, she'll bring other men home, not even trying to hide it from me. Grace, I really regret it. The man on the phone cried with despair. I was stunned. I knew it, I understood him well enough. He wouldn't quietly accept being cheated on. So he was being blackmailed. But what did that have to do with me? I didn't give Chloe any leverage. Thinking about it, he was truly pitiful, being repeatedly cheated on. Seeing stirring beside me, I awkwardly hung up. Since you're not tired, let's continue. This man was unbelievable. He really thought he was a 20-something kid. The next day, he indeed didn't get out of bed, and my back ached for several days. Seeing again, he was scruffy, looking like a homeless man. Grace, I applied for a transfer to a remote region. You and Lily are my last attachments, so I came to say goodbye. I know Lily hates me for breaking up this family, so I won't say goodbye to her directly. Please tell her for me that I will always love her. He bowed deeply to me. Then, with reddened eyes, he left. I made some inquiries and learned that he and Chloe had a messy breakup. Chloe had indeed reported him. Their whole situation became a spectacle, so chose to leave for a remote region. Fearing might regret it, I still told her. I asked if she wanted to go see her dad off, but she said, this is what he deserves. Those who betray their vows should be punished. If heaven doesn't do it, we will. Lily spoke with harsh words, but I clearly heard her sobs. My heart ached intensely. Lily's pain was perhaps even deeper than mine. She had loved her father so much, even considering him the standard for her future marriage. But her standard had been shattered. Her faith was broken. Before left, he sent me a text message. It was my fault for not cherishing what I had, for chasing a fleeting thrill, for breaking up our once happy family. I don't ask for your forgiveness, only that you and Lily find happiness in the rest of your lives. If I had another chance, I would never make such a mistake again. You were the only one I ever truly loved. His repentance seemed to pour his heart out, but I was in my 40s, not 20, an age when one is easily moved to tears by a few kind words. In my 40s, I had learned to evaluate things. The moment he cheated, he had already stopped loving me. If there was love, how could there be betrayal?